Welcome here today, ladies and gentlemen. Toyota Save Mart 350 at Sonoma Raceway. We are going to get things underway here pretty soon. First and foremost, we got qualifying. I know I said 15 minutes. It was more like 20, 25. I wasn't planning on eating something, but I was really hungry, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to eat for the next couple hours, so we're here. I had to grab a sandwich, but outside of that, we are getting things set to go here. Angel, Slasher, God, Holden, Mason, welcome to the stream. We're just going to hop right on into qualifying. We got 2 rounds. We got session qualifying going on here, as usual for the road courses. Can we go 4 for 4 at Sonoma here today? That will be interesting to say the least. Just going to run 2 laps or so here, the opening round, to make sure we've got a good lap time for round 2. We need a good qualifying effort. Track position is a huge factor here on these road course races. It's so difficult to pass. So we'll see how this is going to go. No practice, just hopping right on into qualifying. Soundbred Entertainment, Joshua White, welcome to the stream. Coming in with the points lead, 29-point lead into this 4th race of the season. This is the only time we go to Sonoma on this custom schedule as well. About ready to finish our warm-up lap here. A little wide. Not bad speed getting back into it though. Did I watch the F1 race? No, I'm not really a big Formula 1 fan. Very rarely you're going to catch me watching a Formula 1 race. I think the only 2 races I watched last year were US Grand Prix and Monaco. I think were the only 2 races I watched last year. I didn't even watch all of Monaco either. I watched like the first 3 quarters of it, and I knew Lewis Hamilton was going to win. I know you never know what'll happen, but like I just wasn't intrigued at all. I don't know, it's just hard for me to watch Formula 1. Which is saying something, because I'm a huge motorsports fan, but I don't know, something about Formula 1. I try. I'm sure to be there in person, like any other auto sport, motorsport. Be pretty cool, yeah, but no, I didn't catch the F1 race. Who got the win this week? The Boats House got the win last week, or not? I don't think it was last weekend, I think it was the week before. So 8 drivers have completed a lap. Well, we were actually the first one out. So we'll be the first one to complete a lap that isn't a warm-up lap, and it'll be a 132.325. See what our second lap will get us. And we'll hopefully transfer on into the round of 12, the second and final round of this session qualifying. Got 3 lap cars coming up in the way here. That might cost us some time on the second lap. Harvick's trying to get around desperately on David Reagan. Oh, Reagan ran wide, about ran Harvick off of the track on his qualifying lap. Contact with Reagan, 3 wide, and that's going to cost us, man, that's going to cost us a ton of time on the second lap. So our first lap should be good enough. I really wanted to put a faster second lap down just in case, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Well, Byron's costing us some time here. Also, that hard right-hander. Oh, and then he bounced off the wall. We almost ran right into the back of him. Whoops. Alright, so 5th in round 1. Ryan Newman, the Rocket Man. A dominating start to the season. Yep, thanks for that. Gabe Delgado, welcome to the stream. Alright. On to round 2. So here we go. First car out on the track for round 2 of session qualifying. Thanks for everybody tuning in here to this Sonoma race. Again, we'll get the race underway here as soon as session qualifying is over. We just finished round 1, qualified 5th. See if we can go for the pole in round 2. We'll have 12 drivers trying to get that pole position. Ryan Newman won round 1. It'll be a 110 lap race here today at Sonoma for the second race of our doubleheader. Or the Cup Series back-to-back, in fact. We just got done with the Pocono race about 25-30 minutes ago. And this should take you up to about the start time for the Kentucky race later, so it'll be a lot of fun. We do have relaxed yellows on as usual for the road course races. We are coming off of only 3 cautions in that Pocono race earlier today. Now this one's going to work out. Had some spectacular road course races in all 3 series really for NASCAR Heat 4, so hopefully we'll have that going for us again in NASCAR Heat 5, starting with this first road course race of the season. My first road course race total on NASCAR Heat 5 between all 3 series is this one here today at Sonoma. Driving the track really well though. Warm-up lap is in the books, 2 minutes into our session qualifying here. A little tight there. Aiden Roland, welcome to the stream. I did see you pop in at the end of it on the last stream. I'm sure you were watching for more than just the end, but didn't see you in the chat until then. How do you get more paint schemes? I don't know. I'm a little upset with that too. So I have the gold edition that I bought on Tuesday. And every time I go into the PlayStation store, first it wasn't allowing me, after the patch it was allowing me to get to the PlayStation store through NASCAR Heat 4. So I put my code in, put the coupon in. It said that I had it for free and then it crashes. The game crashes on me, so I can't even collect my paint schemes for the free season pass. Yeah, so I don't know. Top of the charts, 131.481. That was faster than the 2 laps we had in round 1. So that's actually a really nice lap time to start off here in qualifying. We got about 6 more minutes here. Might as well practice a green flag pit stop while we're in this too, and Put 4 fresh tires back on the car. Kevin Harvick, top of the leaderboard, with a 131.448. Not too shabby. A little tight there, trying to see if our second lap will be faster than our first. Coming in hot. That hard right-hander, that might have cost us a little time. We'll see. Faster, wow, 131.363. Jimmy Johnson, top of the boards. We look for our first pole of the season. This is the second time we have actually qualified for a race. Of course, the first two we did not qualify, or the second and third races, both at Pocono and Dover, we did not qualify. And we qualified 37th in the Daytona 500, so a lot better showing in qualifying here at Sonoma. Showing we've definitely got speed in the race car. But will that lap time be enough? I feel like lap 3 is going by. So far, so good. Probably could have ran it in a little harder there, but wasn't bad by any means. Oh, until there. That was a big hiccup. Right in the hairpin. Hit the curbing and just sent us right. And we couldn't correct it enough. Harvick back to the top of the leaderboard. 131.165. Almost 0.2 of a second faster than our last lap. 4 minutes left of session qualifying. We're going to hit pit road right now. Means we messed that lap up. 40 miles per hour is the pit road speed limit, so that's nice to know for later. We'll take 4 fresh tires and a full tank of fuel. Yep, pit time, exactly. As soon as I messed that lap up, I knew that was going to be the best time to pit. Yeah, I will get them. It's just a matter of... Can I do an online lobby in Heat 5? Yeah, I plan on it at some point in time. It probably won't be until sometime after I come back from Bristol. I really want to get in depth with the championship mode first. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I know for NASCAR Heat 4, every race I had a different paint scheme. No matter what driver I was using, I was alternating back and forth. Even if Jimmy's only got 2 paint schemes, I'll alternate back and forth between paint schemes. I know he runs this Ally car more often than not, so... Not that, but yeah, this is the same one. I know some drivers have multiple paint schemes, but not every driver for the standard. Place, Kevin Harvick still at the top of the leaderboard with the same lap time, 131.165. And this is our warm-up lap coming out of the pits here. We've got pressure behind us of Logano, and I can't tell who's behind him. I believe that's Eric Almirola in the 10. So we'll see. This is going to be close to see who's going to get the pole. Remember, that will be huge because, yes, I am right now in a front row spot, but to have that track position inside turn 1 on the restart is big. A lot easier to hopefully get the jump out to the lead at the end of the carousel, or the uphill S's at the start of the track. And I think when we get back to the line, guys, I think we're only going to have time for 1 lap. It's going to be close. So we need a good finish to this warm-up lap. Not bad at all there. Probably could have gotten back in the gas a little sooner. So this is going to be it. We've got 1 lap to set the quick time. Harvick still at the top of the charts. Johnson still in second. Oh, coming in hot. Barely getting the car to turn. I don't think that really cost us much time. I think we got a little lucky. Need to run as quick of a lap as we possibly can. So far, so good. A little tight there. that's a little wide. It's not going to help. It'll help us arc off the exit of the corner, though. I don't know. You can tell we're pushing it really hard. It's time to go for broke on the second half of this last lap of qualifying, because again, we are not going to get back to the line in time. Bounce off the curb. It actually turned that time. It didn't get us too loose like that lap before we had hit pit road. Taking a deep dive into the corner. This is going to be really close. About got back into the gas just a little too soon. Had to check up at the line. 131.326. That was a little bit faster, but not fast enough. Still almost 0.2 of a second back. And Harvick picked up on his last lap, as you see, with a 131.092. So Kevin Harvick is on the pole. King Jackson, welcome to the stream. Yeah, got a face cam, ready to go. Best NASCAR YouTuber, thanks, man. So, Kevin Harvick is on the pole. Johnson will be second. You see Logano third, Kurt Busch fourth. Almirola rounding out the top five. So Newman, who qualified first in round one, qualifies sixth here. Ty Dillon, surprising, ninth. Daniel Suarez, 10th, pretty nice. See if we got any notables towards the back. Ooh, Keselowski, 33rd. A big notable driver that has to come from deep in the field. Well, Harvick's not starting at the rear. I was hoping. I was hoping. Try to get that number one spot. Starlin Dixon, welcome to the stream. Matt Rivas, welcome to the stream. How's this game compared to Heat 4? I think it's a tiny upgrade. I really do. Had fun with Heat 5. I feel like the drivability is a lot better. And I think the AI has been a little bit more aggressive race to race. I've noticed that with Daytona in all three series. And then the Cup Series at Dover and Sonoma. Martinsville in the Truck Series, at least, it seemed like they were getting caught in lap traffic, kind of like they did a lot in Heat 4. But they were a little bit smarter with the lap traffic, it looked like, in the Pocono and Dover race. Maybe it's just the Cup Series. I don't know. But we're going to hop into this Toyota Save Mart 350. That's what you guys stayed to watch qualifying for. Kevin Harvick on the pole. John Hunter Nemechek and Eric Jones will be starting at the rear. And Harvick looked fast in practice too. So Harvick's going to look like one of the tougher guys to beat today. Of course, having the pole as well definitely helps. All right, gotcha, Angel. Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson lead the field to the green flag. Green flag in the air here at Sonoma. 110 laps. Harvick had a little bit of a wheel spin there, probably going from third to fourth. Johnson might have the advantage now through the carousel. Clear. Johnson from second to first on the restart. Harvick just got a little loose, and it was enough for Jimmy to get the advantage off the exit of the uphill carousel, the first of two carousels on the racetrack. Now we enter into the second one through this middle portion of the racetrack. Harvick was able to get into second all alone in front of Kurt Busch now. And now Joey Logano and Kurt Busch battling back there for third. Pit window here today is going to be anywhere between 35 to 38 laps on a full tank of fuel. Tires will be the name of the game though today. Tires, track position, and lap traffic whenever you come to road course races is definitely going to be a big factor. But so far so good off the start. Jimmy Johnson will lead the opening lap of the race. So we try to go for 4 in a row to start the season. How incredible would that be? Going into Bristol for the Food City 500, so the Bristol Day Race will be the next race on the schedule. And after that we go to Phoenix, then Kentucky, and Talladega for the next 4 races. Oh, coming in hot. I did not think we were going to get the car slowed down in time there, but we did, and we are just putting a beating on Kevin Harvick early on, almost a 2.5 second lead already. Got a little bit of pressure behind him. Logano's not too far behind him, but he hasn't gotten beside him to really battle with him yet though either. We'll see as the tires fall off how that'll work out for us too. So we get under 30% tire wear, at least on NASCAR Heat 4. That's when the car on the road courses really, at the snap of your fingers, just did not want to run well with the handling. So we'll have to decide exactly at what point here today how that will work out for us, but our knowledge from Heat 4, that's what it looked like. A new animal though, again, no practice coming into this, just the session qualifying. But we were able to get a practice pit stop in there, and we qualified second, so our best qualifying effort of the season so far. Nothing to complain about there. We were able to lead the opening lap regardless of qualifying second, so. Noon Eastern Standard Time. That means the Kentucky race is on about 2.5 hours a day. So hopefully we'll get through the end of this. We should get to the end of this race before the start of that one. Guess it depends how many cautions we get too. It slows the race pace down just a little bit. But we know with this clean air very well. So if we get restarts in this race today, assuming that we'll have cautions at some point in time, as long as we time our restarts out pretty well, I think we'll be fine. With fresh tires, at least. A little wide off the exit of the hairpin there, but not too bad. Already going to be to lap 5 at the line this time. Not that many laps in the race. This should definitely be longer than the Pocono race earlier today that lasted just less than 2 hours in total time. But I think even if we have not that many cautions like we did in the Pocono race earlier, I just think it'll go a little longer. Pocono takes about 55 seconds roughly to get around that racetrack, and here it takes about a minute and a half. We only have 20 less laps than what we did at Pocono. Go out here, try to keep the track position as much as we can, and we'll be alright. Much like we did with Pocono. Gonna have to play strategy with cautions a lot how we did at Pocono throughout the course of the day. I think that's gonna be the way to go. As long as our tires aren't too worn out, at least. Obviously going to have a fast pit crew as well to keep us out in front, and that also means for us to run clean laps so we don't have to repair any damage. So far, it has been a very clean start. The last lap is our fastest of the first 4 completed laps. Not quite at our qualifying time, or actually no, we were faster than our qualifying time, just not Harvick's. Harvick had a 1:31.092 for his pole time. He's still holding on to second. Logano is definitely putting pressure on him. You wonder if Joey might be a little faster than Kevin. It's definitely possible. Locking the brakes down, getting it to turn a little wide there. But again, luckily no pressure from anybody else on us right now. Big bounce off the curb. Do I have assists on? Not that I know of. I have the same standard settings that I had in NASCAR Heat 4. Yeah, all the settings for all 3 series were back in that opening truck series stream at Daytona. I went through the settings and the schedules for all of the seasons, but all the settings are the same across all 3 series. The only thing that's going to change on a week-to-week period is the relaxed yellows versus strict. It's going to be strict at all road courses. Road courses I have relaxed yellows on. A lot easier to go off course. Plus there's more room to get out of the way too, if somebody did go off course. Gonna alternate through the cameras for the first time in this race today as we're pulling away early on. Only 8 laps complete. You can see the huge elevation changes around this racetrack. Big power slide there, staying right in the gas and driving right out of it. And using the controller for this race today. Absolute lead now on Kevin Harvick. And sorry for not exactly looking at the chat as much as possible. Very difficult on these road course races, but I try my best throughout the course of this one, so sorry if I missed some of your guys' questions throughout the course of the race. Went off the track there. We got really tight all of a sudden. I mean, down the S is a downhill slope. Car's a little on the tighter side, but it's really fast, so if we get a caution or we stretch all this green flag run all the way out, I don't plan on making any adjustments here in the early going at least. Lap 10, we'll have 100 laps to go this time by. Oh! Johnson got very loose that time. Accidentally dropped at the first gear. Quickly realized that and hit second. I usually don't realize I do it that quickly, and realized at that time for sure. We are already about to catch lap traffic. Only lap 10 and lap traffic is nearing up ahead. But luckily we have about a 10.5-second lead on Harvick. Followed by Logano, Kurt Busch. Kyle Busch is now in the top 5. So we didn't catch him quite that lap. So it looks like lap 11 we're going to catch lap traffic for the first time here today. Oh boy, Michael McDowell just about put us in the wall. He pulled down right in front of us, and again, it is so tough to pass lap cars, and cars in general. There are very few passing zones on this road course. Of the 3 in the Cup Series, not including obviously Daytona road course, because that's just added onto this year's 2020 schedule. Big bounce off the curb by McDowell. It's going to allow Johnson to get under him, and finally we're going to get around our first lap car of the race. Took us almost a half a lap to get around him, but we finally did. Quickly going to get around Justin Haley now. No problem there, Joshua. Hopefully make it back by the finish. Tyler Burbeck, welcome to the stream. Harvick has closed that gap since we hit lap traffic by about 2 seconds. We'll just have to wait to see how the rest of the AI cars get around the lap traffic. It is very difficult to pass But again, not only on road courses in general, but this is probably the hardest on the road courses to make passes on. Went through the lap traffic pretty well here. And we did go from second to first on the initial start. Remember, we did not qualify on the pole. Kevin Harvick did. Oh boy, Joey Gase about pinched us off there now. And yeah, Kenseth not having a good run so far either. There's a massive hop off the curb on the end of the hairpin. Curbs are still violent, as they should and would be in real life. Curbs are just not very friendly to stock cars. Any race cars for that matter, but stock cars seems to be a lot worse. I think with how heavy they are versus a lot of other race cars, it makes it very difficult. So Eric Jones started at the rear. I think he's got a fast car, but he has not gotten through traffic at all. Not good at all here today, because already you see right there, he's still in 31st, trying to get around Ross Chastain. So if Jones has a fast car, it's going to be difficult to get around him here. Let's see. Really sent it off. Well done. Pass is made. Looking at the chat there, and I went off. Oh, contact there with Jones. Didn't realize he was right there on the inside. Yeah, I hope my car doesn't end up ghosted like NASCAR Heat 4 as well. That's only because we got in a wreck onto pit road, and there were no cautions either that could have reset it. So normal racing here. We do have cautions on. None of them so far today. So the only contact we've made with anybody so far was Eric Jones on this lap. Good run there, and Chastain will finally let us go. Take a look at how the tires are wearing out on the upper left-hand corner of your screen now. At 62% on the right front, and the left front is actually wearing out slightly more than what the right front is. But both right around 60%. Cakewalk in the field here early on. A long green flag run to start this race. I don't think you're going to see many cautions today. You usually don't on road courses, but we'll just have to wait and see. Keselowski qualified back at 33rd, only gained 4 spots since the start of the race himself, and he's already going to go a lap down. He's going to try to cross us back over to get back on the lead lap. He's not going to be able to do it. Car just does not have the speed. Sonoma has not been one of Keselowski's best tracks statistically anyway, but Still not a good run, regardless of the fact here today. A couple of rookies right in front of us. Got John Hunter Nemechek, Cole Custer right in front of him. Oh, wow, that got really loose. And bouncing off the curb into the side of Nemechek and about went around. That'll allow Keselowski to get right back on by. And again, tough getting through the lap traffic here, just 15 laps into the race. And now overrunning the exit of the carousel. Still firing back to get alongside Keselowski though. Not a clean lap so far. Logano has gotten up to second place. He's a couple seconds ahead of Kevin Harvick. Seconds off the lead. And a huge train of about 5 lap cars in our way right now too. That definitely doesn't help. Here's the move. Power move to get by Nemechek and Custer 3 wide. Don't want to see that on a road course. We saw that in qualifying and it almost didn't work out. Oh, got into Custer again. I don't know how he never made contact through the 3 wide action there, but did a good job getting through it. Larry Nemechek, he's all over our back bumper now as we try to get around to Benedetto. Matty D, a pretty good road course racer, but today has not been his day. Oh, and he just gets moved out of the way by John Hunter Nemechek back behind him. Deep dive on Byron Busher. Byron, another really good road course racer. Byron not having his way early on here at Sonoma, though. He did win both stages of the Sonoma race last season. Of course, no stages here today. A lot of that was pit strategy, but still, nonetheless, got it done. He's a pretty good qualifier, too, so for him to get the pole and put himself in that position, he did have to do some work. As well as not mess up any corners, which he did not. Braden Thompson, welcome to the stream. Very difficult to look at the chat today. Road course, 750 horsepower. Try my best. We had a big lead before the lap traffic. At first they were starting to catch us, but once they got into lap traffic themselves as well, we've widened that gap out. It was about an 8 to 8.5 second lead. Now we're out to about a 21.5 to 22 second lead. Gano's still in second. Still a ways to go. Busch was over 10 seconds back of the 4th place car when he moved into 5th. He has now closed the gap on them as well. Really trying to put as many cars a lap down as possible in case we get that first caution. And again, trying to go 4 for 4 with Jimmy Johnson to start the season. Overran that one. Hard on the brakes, uphill through the carousel again. At least it's not the Roval, yeah. We're wearing out those tires pretty good, probably because of how hard we're pushing the car early on, but really trying to get a feel for everything here in this opening run of the race, see how hard we can push it going forward. Trying to get the most out of our race car. Yeah, we do race at the Charlotte Roval twice on this season as well, once in the playoffs and once in the regular season. Same thing with Watkins Glen too, so we actually have 5 road course races on the season. 2 at Watkins Glen, 2 at the Roval, but only 1 here at Sonoma. Oh, Boyer got loose. Look at the amount gained here going into the carousel. The second one at least, and we're going to easily clear Boyer off the exit of the inner carousel. And then Jeff, welcome to the stream. Keeping an eye on those tires. Remember, NASCAR Heat 4 could be different from Heat 5. We'll just have to wait and see as far as the tire wear is concerned. So once we got down to 30% or below on the tire wear on the road courses in Heat 4, we would completely lose traction. So we'll have to wait and see if that'll be the case here on Heat 5. 20 laps in the books. Sonoma Raceway. And Jimmy Johnson's home state, not necessarily his home track, closest to his hometown is Auto Club. But still, it'd be nice to get Jimmy Johnson a win in his home state, just in case we don't get that win at Auto Club late in the year. You never know. Or later in the regular season, I should add. Christopher Bell will now go a lap down, and that will put just 21 drivers on the lead lap already in this race. So we have lapped almost half the field. A 33.5 to 34 second lead. Kurt Busch has moved his way up to second place now. Logano back to third, Harvick fourth, and Kyle Busch remains in fifth. full minute on race time on the racetrack though to catch up even to second place. So we're only about a third of the track ahead of Kurt Busch despite the big lead. Still quite a big margin nonetheless. One thing that is consistent with Heat 4 and Heat 5 that I've noticed too is that in Heat 4, much like this race here in Heat 5, it doesn't seem like I'm faster on the longer run per se. It feels like we're just fast equally throughout the course of the run, but then once the tires fall off at the very end of the run, that's when I lose a lot of the time. So maybe you can almost say that the very long runs are going to hurt me more in the very short runs. We need to stay out as long as we can though before we hit pit road that first time. You have to imagine this far into the run, if a caution came out right now, everybody would hit pit road, and I think we would too. Especially knowing that those tires are likely going to slip away really soon. At least I'd have to imagine they would. Trying to get around Austin Dillon, right behind rookie and teammate Tyler Reddick. The inside of Austin. Great run off the exit there. Oh boy, Tyler Reddick trying to hold on to the lead lap. And he's praying for a quick caution, but now he's going to go lap down. Denny Hamlin, not a bad road course racer, but he is not having his way here today. And he's going to be in danger of going a lap down real shortly. Stuck behind. Oh, McDowell runs wide, 3 wide right in front of us there as they split. Michael McDowell, Bobby Carter and Hamlin battling for 18th. McDowell ran wide, about ran Carter off the track in the hairpin, and then all of a sudden Hamlin snuck underneath. Oh boy, 3 wide to the top. What a move by Johnson to get around all those lap cars. And now 17 drivers on the lead lap. A moment of truth to find out if the tires are going to fall off here in a couple seconds. At left front, 31. And we got 32 on the right front. We'll see. It's going to affect the braking, the turning. Curbs are going to be even more violent. Brendan Gaughan is 17th. Having a great run. He did very well in the Daytona 500. If I'm not mistaken, I think he had a top 10 finish. Started on the pole. Going to get around him there. Bubba Wallace never really performed well on road courses. He's going to go 2 laps down in the early going of this one. Left front at 30% now. Right now, tires still feel all right. I'm not really noticing a difference. Bino, welcome to the stream. Oh boy, yeah, I think the tires are starting to give out. See, we got really loose there, and we've got a big lead. We don't have to push it as hard if we don't want to. Got a really huge lead, 56 seconds right now. And still trying to put as many cars a lap down as we have to, but or as we can, rather. Alex Bowman, next driver on the lead lap right in front of us. Ashton G, welcome to the stream. Very hard to look at the chat. I've looked at it a couple times. I've gone barely off the course both times I looked at it. So again, sorry if I'm not getting down there quick enough or at all compared to the last couple streams. We are having a handful with this race car now. So just like Heat 5, tires get below 30% tire wear and the car really starts to slide a lot more. So we've got to be careful. DNFs are on for the championship mode. Bowman is all over trying to get around David Reagan. He was up on two wheels after hopping off the curb there. We're beating him back to the gas, and now only 13 drivers are on the lead lap. We have just put Alex Bowman a lap down now. Obviously, have to make sure we don't speed either. I believe that's a... Well, we haven't sped in Heat 5, so I guess I don't know exactly what the penalty is, but Heat 4, I believe it was a 15-second penalty. You can see that rear wheel spin, especially trying to get back into the gas and trying to get the power down. That's about a 57-second lead again. Definitely the largest lead of the race as we just keep growing it. Lap after lap. Harvick has fallen outside of the top 5. Your top 5 order runs like this. Jimmy Johnson in the lead. Kurt Busch second. Third place, Joey Logano. Almirola fourth. And Ryan Blaney rounds out the top 5 so far. Haven't seen Blaney or Almirola in the top 5 yet today until now. Kyle Busch is also falling out of the top 5, so. Blaney, pretty solid road course racer. Has a win at the Charlotte Roval. And he finished in the top 5 in all 3 road course races last season in 2019. His win at the Roval came back in 2018. Yep, 100% race length. That's what we always do on the channel. We usually don't pull ahead like this especially on the opening run of the race. We were just hitting our marks perfectly all throughout, and full race live streams with a realistic broadcast on the channel here, as usual. Finally going to get around Timmy Hill. We were struggling. You can tell, yeah, the tires are definitely falling off of this race car. Down to about 20% tire wear on that left front. And the right front will soon follow. We can go about 10 more laps on a full tank of fuel also. Oh, coming in hot through the hairpin. I'm surprised we're not losing more time. How bad the car is handling now. Oh no! Johnson goes off the course, barely keeping it off the wall. A great save. That could have been a way worse scenario there. I think it's time to hit pit road. I don't think we can keep waiting this out. We might risk wrecking the race car. Johnson's going to hit pit road for the first time today under green. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel. Well, 3/4 of a tank will be enough to fill it up. So, yeah, I did not want to go much further. Might botch this name, but I say El Chatel. Welcome to the stream. So it looks like Matt Kenseth and Martin Truex Jr. are starting at the rear in the Kentucky race. So I don't know if we have any fans of either of those two drivers in the chat in the live stream here today, but they're going to the rear. America IndyCar racing this weekend. Yep. 15.7 second pit stop. No, Scott Dixon won yesterday. Yeah, I was going to say, Scott Dixon won the race yesterday, I thought. Or are they having a doubleheader of some sort that I don't know about? So that goes to show how big of a lead we had. We hit pit road. We still came out with the lead. Nobody else pitted behind us. Eric Almirola now within 9 seconds, and he is up to second place. So Almirola's got a really fast car here in this one today. Jimmy Johnson's led every lap. Now everybody behind us will still have to pit. No cautions to record so far as we are approaching lap 30. Blaney now up to third. About 4.5 seconds or so behind Almirola. Now we've got fresher tires, but Almirola's trying to keep digging. He's trying to cut into this lead, even on older tires. Now he's only about 8 to 8.5 seconds off the lead. He has closed the gap about a half a second, now a full second since we came out of the pits. Didn't make any adjustments. Car still feels fine, but Almirola and Blaney could be the two fastest cars outside of us today. Of course, starting a little bit further back, I believe Blaney qualified in the back half of the top 10. I'm not sure where Eric Almirola started. I think it was outside of the top 10. So if we do get a caution and a restart at some point in time, we'll have to see if those two can challenge us. We know Harvick's fallen outside of the top 5, despite the fact it looked like he had a very fast car today. Not only qualified on the pole, but that footnote before the start of the race also said he had some fast laps in practice. So gonna get around Michael McDowell there, perfectly done. Oh, that was a bad idea to try and pass Haley. More contact. Probably should have waited until the end of the S's to get around him. Almirola now within about 7 seconds. There we go. Finally got to clear Justin Haley. Now a 6.5 second lead on Almirola. He is closing the gap. We have led now the first 30 laps of the race at the line this time. Well over a quarter of the way home. It's a dominant performance so far. 80 laps to go. JC Carter, welcome to the stream. Almirola keeps trimming that gap. It's down to 5 seconds. He's getting through the lap traffic pretty well. And remember, we are on about 30, just less than 30 lap fresher tires. That 10 car does look really fast. Blaney is under 12 seconds back now in third. Followed closely by Logano, and then Harvick has worked his way back to the top 5 once again. Haven't seen him in the top 5 in kind of a while. Yeah, Almirola did gain a few seconds. Now he's back to about 7 seconds back. But even on older tires, he has gained about 2 seconds since we came out of the pits. So Eric might be just hoping for a caution here at some point in time to get a restart so he can get within range. Because again, these guys that haven't pit yet, which is everybody outside of us, will still have to pit. If we get a caution at any point in time, I think Almirola and Blaney could contend. How about Ricky Stenhouse Jr. up to 5th now? We tried to get around Bubba Wallace. And we will. Part 2 of racing at Road America. Gotcha. So they did have a race yesterday. Okay. I didn't know there was a doubleheader. I knew they were at Road America this week, but did not know they were having 2 shows, to be completely honest. Yeah, I was going to say, when you said that, I was like, wait a minute, Scott Dixon won the race yesterday. Yeah, I had no clue they had a doubleheader today. I'll definitely be watching the Cup race, though, over the IndyCar race. Just more of a NASCAR fan. I watch IndyCar when the Cup Series isn't on, but can't miss a lap of that Cup Series. Chad Fincham gave us 0 room there. About made contact, too. Matt Kenseth's not giving us much room to pass him either. He's still there, and now we're finally going to clear him. So that did put more cars back on the lead lap. Remember, there were only 13 drivers on the lead lap before we hit pit road. Now there's 22. These guys that got back on the lead lap, they're really hoping for a caution before they have to hit pit road. So we can go about 38 laps on a full tank of fuel. So they still got a handful of laps they could go. Drive it in deep. Oh, contact with Reddick. Oh, rub and run to get around him. Very tight through the hairpin. So now Reddick and Austin Dillon bumper to bumper. They're battling for the free pass position. Clint Boyer, though, is about to go a lap down in 20th. Oh, Boyer just bounced it off the wall, too. And Johnson clears him. Back to 19 on the lead lap, and now Boyer's in the free pass spot. Still hoping for a caution before... Oh, no! Off the curb and around we go. Around goes Johnson. Finally able to get the car turned around. Wanted to make sure nobody else was coming. And Almirola is there. He has closed the gap now, just over a second off the lead. Blaney within 4.5 seconds. That's the first major mistake we have made today. A spin, costing ourselves a 9-second lead. Now down to about a second and a half, 2 seconds. Almirola struggling with the lap traffic, because he was just less than a second back, but lost time in the middle portion of the track there. It was just a big... Just was not able to control it that time. Still holding on to the lead though. I haven't not led a lap yet today, so trying to keep that streak going. Luckily, we're able to get the pressure off of us quickly. It does get Reddick and Dillon back on the lead lap again, sending it, and Reddick is a lap down. So good quick pass there. Trying to get back around Austin Dillon again. Dillon just bounced it off the wall now. Big mistake. And clear. Very fortunate that Almirola was in heavy lap traffic at the time of our spin, because otherwise he probably would have gotten to the lead. It's weird though, our tires aren't even worn out really at all. We're still mostly fresh on our tires that are currently on the car. Oh! Contact now with Boyer. Caught right back up to him again. Gase just slid right in front of us. Get off the gas in time. Clear now before we get into the hairpin. And Denny Hamlin in danger of going a lap down. He's able to get back on the lead lap because we had pit, and now he takes it 3 wide, and that's what happened the last time we saw him. Only at that time he was battling with Bobby Carter for position. It doesn't look like that's the case now. He's actually battling Brendan Gaughan for 18th, and not Bobby Carter this time. Gonna pass Brendan. Gaughan puts the bumper to Johnson. Trying to get back around him desperately. And now he's gonna have to race Denny Hamlin for the free pass spot. More contact with Timmy Hill. Lap 37. I give it 2 more laps at the most before you're going to see cars hit pit road. In real life in the Cup Series race last year, I know there's stages, but there were no cautions for incident. And we actually have cars hitting pit road as we speak. Looks like Joey Logano stayed out, but Eric Almirola, Blaney, Kyle Busch all hitting pit road right now of the leaders. So we'll get to see how far out ahead we will be once everybody cycles through. Bobby Carter shown in 15th. Right in front of us, he's likely going to hit pit road this time, I'd have to imagine. We're caught behind him, so that's going to help some of these guys. They're trying to get back out onto the racetrack as quick as they can. And going to clear Carter. But Bobby Carter's coming to pit road anyway. So yeah, we'll see. And Almirola's about 65 seconds off the lead. So over a full minute off the lead is Eric Almirola in 3rd. Did cycle past some of those guys coming out of the pits, but all the big contenders in this one still on the lead lap, so that's good for them. They just need to stay on the lead lap as long as they can before a caution is to come out. So Logano's on pit road now. Bowman also stayed out an extra lap, but he will likely hit pit road this time too. He's got Ryan Blaney right behind him for 4th. So there's Ryan Newman in 9th place. I believe he's the last driver on the lead lap. So we have put a lot of guys a lap down early. By short pitting, that did definitely help catch up to a lot of these guys and pull ahead even more than what we were. We gapped Almirola by about 10 seconds from when we had hit pit road. So that was simply by pitting 10 laps earlier. Eric Jones going to come on to pit road. That might have costed Newman a little bit of time as he tries to get around his teammate. Roush Fenway Racing Chris Buescher. 3 wide towards the bottom. That was tight. Buescher's got a little damage to the front of his car. We're going to get around him though, and Newman slowly gets away, but how much longer is Ryan Newman going to be able to hold on to his lead lap positioning? A little bump, a little run. Oh, 3 wide, splitting the middle now. DiBenedetto goes the 2nd lap down, and just like that, Ryan Newman, the Rocket Man, is a lap down here at Sonoma. Kurt Busch in 8th place, in danger of going a lap down now. I'm surprised Bowman did not pit that last lap. He's got to pit now. I don't think he's going to go much longer. He's trying desperately to stay out as long as he can, hoping for a caution. Sending it on Kurt Busch into the hairpin. Crossover now. Not a lot of room. A little wide goes Jimmy, but still beating Kurt Busch back to the gas, and now Kurt Busch goes a lap down. Now we've got Cole Custer right in front of us, though. And we're going to get around him. I believe that's Kyle Busch you see up here. And here comes Bowman. Bowman onto pit road. He'll go a lap down. Kurt Busch is in the free pass spot. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. still in the top 5 now as we cycle through. Green flag stops. He's in 5th and not far behind the 4th place car of Joey Logano. So great run for Stenhouse. Bounce off the curb, just staying to the inside of Belt, beating him back to the gas too, and able to get around it. Might have cost us a little bit of time in trying to catch Kyle Busch, and we're going to go really wide off the exit of the carousel, and Kurt Busch is trying to fight back, but he can't get around Christopher Bell in time. Almirola is about 13 seconds ahead of Blaney for that second place position. Charging very, very hard to catch that 18. I'm using the manual transmission. Always use a manual for any racetrack. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter whether I'm using the steering wheel or the controller either. Now widening out about an 80-second lead. Or sorry, 71-second lead on Almirola. Spread the numbers there. Stenhouse really struggling in lap traffic right now too. Kyle Busch is running him down for that 5th spot, as we are trying to run down both Stenhouse and Kyle Busch ourselves to put him a lap down. Less cars on the lead lap, the better, in case we do get a caution. Better chance of trying to get Jimmy Johnson his 4th win of the young season. To start 4 for 4, might I add. Did not expect this kind of a start to our custom schedule season, but we are coming out rolling. Deep dive. Oh, contact with Kyle Busch. We're going to get around him. Ricky Stenhouse. Oh, Reddick went a little wide, and that's going to cost Stenhouse some time. Oh, Logano checked up, and now we're 3 wide, sandwiched in the middle. Stenhouse is sideways, all over with the 18 right now. Everybody just bouncing off one another. Logano checked up like right in front of us, which checked us up, and that really scrambled things going downhill through the S's. Logano's able to get away with the 4th position, and barely, but still on the lead lap. Big run here by Johnson. Trying desperately to get around Logano. Couldn't do it there. Trying to use Austin Dillon as a pick. On the exit of the carousel, it's going to work. Logano now goes a lap down. 3 drivers on the lead lap. And we have about an 82.5-second lead on Almirola. Blaney, who was just 13 seconds behind him not long ago, is now within about 2.5 seconds. Johnson runs wide through the hairpin. But Logano's still struggling to get around Austin Dillon. Looked like he was making contact with him through the hairpin as well. So we're able to stay in front of him. Big loose moment off the curb there. Maybe not as clean of a second run here as what we had in that opening run, but still giving it our best shot. Tim Lambert, welcome to the stream. See Ryan Blaney getting stuck behind a lot of lap cars in that third position right now too. And if he goes a lap down, that leaves just 2 cars on the lead lap. Blaney, one of the stronger competitors too. We know Almirola and Blaney have probably the 2 fastest cars outside of us. But we have not been close enough together to really decide who is the faster car between us 3. Like say on a restart. So Blaney sees us out of his rear view. He's desperately trying to get going. Oh, we ran a little wide. Had to get hard on the brakes. Barely kept the car on the track. Three wide. Seems like every time we get around Denny Hamlin, either he's going 3 wide or we are, if not both. And we have caught Ryan Blaney in that 12 car. A little bump there with Denny Hamlin. Oh, Blaney had to get out of the gas. He could not make it through the S's. Side by side with Boyer, and now Blaney is a lap down. But he'll try desperately to get by us to hope for a quick caution. 12 car is right there.
Still there? All right, you're clear.
Definitely drove it in deep. But now Boyer and Buescher are side by side right in front of Blaney. That's not good. 82.5 second lead. 65 laps to go. We still have 2 cars on the lead lap, but absolute domination today from Jimmie Johnson. We have led every single lap with this 48 car of the first 45 completed here today. Still a long ways to go, and we have not had a caution yet to show for in this one as well. I didn't think we were going to have many cautions so far, but I don't know if I thought we were going to quite make it this long without a caution. Everybody cycled through one green flag stop. And having this big of a lead, we could probably pit as soon as those tires get to 30% tire wear on the fronts, both the left front and the right front. Once they get that low, I think you're going to see me hit pit road again. We've got a big enough lead. We're not going to lose the lead if we do that. So I don't really think that's a bad idea at all. Cody Johnson, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I was going to say Jimmy Johnson's coming back today at Kentucky. .88-second lead now on Almirola. You can see him not that far ahead. Big moment if we can put him a lap down before a possible caution. Field's really been strung out for the most part, though. Obviously, the longer and longer the runs go, tends to happen, but a long run like this on a road course, definitely helping that. They're caught right behind Matt DiBenedetto. We get around him pretty easily here. And Almirola's struggling to get by Eric Jones in the 20 car right now. And here comes Jimmy Johnson. The surge to try and lap the field in case of a yellow, or multiple cautions for that matter. Knowing Almirola's got a really fast car. This took Eric way too long to get to second place. And get by Eric Jones. Pull Custer now. Side by side with his teammate Almirola. Johnson right behind. Oh, Custer goes wide, and that's going to allow us to get by Almirola. Trying to send it on Custer into the S's. Barely. Gonna clear him, and that is going to be the easiest way. We probably could have gotten around Almirola, as his teammate just about ran him off the hairpin. We've seen cars not be able to go side by side off the exit there much today. And that was definitely the case there. So at the line officially, Jimmy Johnson has lapped the field with 62 to go at Sonoma. Not even halfway home yet. Almost halfway home, but yeah, Martinsville 3.0. Yeah, the Martinsville truck race, we absolutely dominated that race. That was a lot different than this. Yeah, we're only one lap ahead of the field instead of a truck race. We finished 4 laps ahead. On surge to winning back-to-back races to open up the season with Chase Elliott. Picked a good spot to get by McDowell right before we got in depth with the carousel. McDowell, pretty good road course racer for the most part, but he is not having a good day back at 38th. Been probably the slowest car on the track all day long. Very hard on the brakes that time, and off the track we go slightly. Once they got the right sides off, it just carried the rest of the car off the track, couldn't get it back on. Without looking at the chat today, simply just messed it up on my own. Well, that and hitting the curb in the wrong spot and spinning out earlier definitely didn't help either. Oh, speaking of hitting the curb in the wrong spot, man, really jolted the car up there and sure, exactly. Oh, into the back of Quinn Houff now, and Houff gets loose. Able to make the save. Oh, and Houff slams door to door with Johnson. Jimmy not getting any respect there from Quinn Houff as the leader. Trying to pass the 37th place car. Contact with Matt Kenseth a couple corners ago. Still trying to get around the 42 of Matt Kenseth. And we will right there. Not really a lot to talk about here today other than the domination of this 48 car. And the fact that we have a one lap lead on the field if you guys are just tuning in for the first time. Trying to win both races of the doubleheader for the Cup Series today and go 4 for 4 with Johnson to start the season. 20 quick playoff points is a big help, knowing we have a long ways to go before the playoffs. Plus, of course, trying to get Jimmy a win as many tracks as we can on a farewell season. Kozlowski's still slowly moving up through the field here, but oh no! I don't know what happened there, but it's going to give us a speeding penalty. We didn't even have all 4 tires. That would have been a speeding penalty and a commitment line violation. Weren't even planning on pitting. We were trying to get around Keselowski on the outside there. And the left side tires hit the commitment line. There's a 15-second penalty. We should still have the lead. But as far as having a full lap ahead of the field like we did, that's going to change everything. And it's going to put us off pit strategy. So we are pitting much earlier than what I would have wanted. But we might as well service the car while we are already down here. Christian, welcome to the stream. I don't know what was going on there. That was very strange. 34.4 second stop. Yeah, that's going to put quite a few guys back on the lead lap. We are going to hold on to the lead still. And we do have 4 fresh tires on the car. But again, we pitted way sooner than what I really wanted to. I don't know why it made us go down onto pit road because we didn't have all 4 tires on the commitment line there. It just shot us straight to the left as soon as we got the left sides on the commitment line, even though we technically didn't have it. So I don't know where this puts us on pit strategy here. We could run about 38 laps on a full tank of fuel. We could have been able to make it on one more stop if we would have stayed out longer, but now we got tight. But that opens the door up for everybody else that got back on the lead lap because of that issue. If a caution is to come out. Yeah, Keselowski never even made contact with us though either. That's another thing why I don't understand why the car shot to the left like it did. We're on the middle of a straightaway. Very interesting scenario. I mean, the good news is we still have a big lead. So even if we have to make one extra stop, say the rest of the field can make it on one more stop and we still have to take one more, we have a big lead. The problem's going to lie is if we get a caution. Because that gives way more drivers an opportunity to have a shot to win this thing. Especially Almirola and Blaney, knowing how fast the cars they have, especially Almirola. I'm almost starting to second guess myself on whether or not Blaney would even have a shot, but a good chance at that. Suarez having a great run in 13th. He's running well at Pocono for the most part. Finished 17th. He was running just outside the top 10 the whole race earlier. And we had made that pass on the outside multiple times here today and never had an issue anywhere close to that. So, again, very interesting why the game shot me down to pit road. Still just trying to hit our marks as best as we can here. And now, again, Reddick and Truex about made contact. Truex almost went wide, and now Reddick just lets him go. Knowing the leader is coming, and Truex is trying to desperately stay on the lead lap. He's got almost like a second wind after that incident. An incident without any contact, might I add. Cross flags are here. We are halfway home at Sonoma today, just 55 laps to go on our first road course race of the season. Oh, Truex bounces off the curb majorly. We're going to clear him. He's going to try to cross us over, but Justin Haley's going to be in the way. So he's not going to be able to complete the crossover. And again, that puts about 11 cars on the lead lap. So over halfway through the race now and still no caution here today at Sonoma. Be interesting. Could you imagine if we went caution free the entire race? First time on NASCAR Heat 5 in any series, but rather with it being the Cup Series, knowing that these are longer races than the Xfinity and trucks. To go caution free, that would be crazy. Newman barely clears Austin Dillon. Newman, I believe, is the next driver in the lead lap, so he's desperately trying to stay away from us. Second in points as well. Cannot afford to go a lap down here as far as the regular season championship is concerned. Definitely in danger of losing even more points today. Maybe even losing that second place spot in points. Especially with Blaney in third. I think Blaney was fourth. And now Newman bounces it off the wall right after Michael Mc... So clear. We're going to get around Ryan Newman now. Trying to fight back, can't do it. 10 cars now in the lead lap once again. Yeah, it'd be cool if the Cup Series added Road America to the schedule. Nice road course. 4 miles in length. Really long road course. I know it takes the Xfinity cars well over 2 minutes to get around there. Pretty short race as far as laps, but yeah, it'll be a good race. Ooh. No contact with Brendan going.
You got room. You're clear.
Now with Matt DiBenedetto, we'll get around to both. Kevin Harvick, pole sitter, back to 10th. And in danger of going a lap down. Not as heavy as we have seen lap traffic all day long. Currently as we speak, here's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the mix. Also 3 wide. It looked like they were going to go 3 wide. Priest is going to finally let his teammate go as he tries to battle Busch for 7th on top of trying to stay on the lead lap. We're going to get around Stenhouse. Looking on Kyle Busch. Oh, tight squeeze. How more contact with the 18 as we went 3 wide. Busch squeezing us and rubbing. A little contact by the 18 car, trying to stay in front of the 48, not anymore. Johnson will put him a lap down with 51 to go. I haven't even seen any of the AI cars go off the track here today. Not even spin or anything like that. Seen contact with each other multiple times, but that's about it. Seems like side by side off the exit of the hairpin has been the area where we could see an accident from these AI cars throughout the course of this race. It seems like they're side by side. That car on the outside really has no room and goes really wide. Luckily there's nothing but pavement up there for them to work with. No curbing. So about a 44-second lead on Almirola.
Still there?
$50 to go. 60 laps complete. Cindy Duncan Gaming, welcome to the stream. Yeah, Daytona Road Course pretty long in length. Probably won't be a lot of laps in that race either. Gonna alternate through the cameras one final time in today's race once we get to the start finish line, this time by so here we go. Been a while in this race. So we're coming up, it's about 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. We only have an hour until the Cup Series race at Kentucky today, so again, hopefully we could get this done in time and this over with, because I know just as much as you guys, I'm excited to watch the race today, so. Don't want to have to miss the cup race, so we should get this done at least close to the start. I don't know if it starts exactly at 2:30. I think the drop of the green flag is right at 2:30 today. I don't know if there's any rain in the area. And now, for the first time today, with 49 laps to go, caution. Wasn't sure if we were going to see one, and that might be an opportunity to spice this thing up. I think we're going to hit pit road along with the rest of the field here. No adjustments needed. And Johnson wins the race off of pit road. So here we go. We'll see what kind of speed Almirola Blaney might have if he's still up there. Green flag in the air. Blaney lost a couple spots on pit road. But here we go. Good jump by Jimmy Johnson on the restart, following the first caution of the day. Really trying to get away from Eric Almirola right now. We know he's got a very fast race car. Is it fast enough to hang on to Johnson, despite the fact Jimmy has the clean air after nailing the restart? Johnson has led every lap of this race so far. And we will only have 45 laps to go this time by. Almirola is hanging in there a little bit better than maybe some of these other guys would have, but we still have to make a pit stop before the end of this race. We're about 8 laps short on fuel to the end. So we might have a little interesting pit strategy if we do have to stay green to the end of this race. Just remember, we had a lap on the entire field. The second tire stint before the game had taken us to pit road. And Almirola is closing the gap. He about got to the back bumper there. Kurt Busch back in third place. He's overtaken Logano, and Johnson goes a little wide, but so did Almirola, so he didn't gain much time, if anything at all there. Chase Elliott's worked his way to the top 5 now. A rough start to the season, but he's got a good run going for him here. Very great road course racer himself. Can he maybe have a shot to get into this thing? Very inconsistent as far as who is better between Almirola and Johnson. I think we're really both equal, honestly. Some corners we're just getting through better than him. At some corners he's catching us. Driving style is probably a little different. Now we hit lap traffic on lap 11 earlier today. Oh, maybe not the best corner there, a little tight. Almirola gained a little bit of that time he lost in the middle part of the lap. Going just a little bit wider, and Almirola is closing the gap on Johnson for the lead. Here he comes. Oh no, Johnson goes a little wide. And here comes Eric Almirola. Another 4.5 seconds back to Kurt Busch in third. Maybe trying to get a little better exit to the carousel. Johnson going to pull him slightly. As close to anybody has been to touching the race lead outside of Jimmy Johnson all day today is right now. And that is for the 10 of Almirola, trying to get the win and lock itself into the playoffs. Not known as a road course racer, but to get a win at Sonoma today has got to be big. We have really pulled him on the second half of this lap. He must not have gotten through the hairpin very well, but Johnson's not going to get through the exit of the S's very well. Almirola's there, going to block the curbing. Almirola likely going to race clean. He is known for being a clean racer, but so is Jimmy Johnson. So we might have some good, hard, aggressive, clean action still to come. Oh, wanted to stay the gas. Big wheel spin, and that sent us a little wide. And barely keeping it on the racetrack. Rear tires got into the sand, while the fronts were still on the curbing. So all Almirola needs is a shot to get around us. I think he's going to have to do it before we get to the traffic, unless he wants to just stay in second place. Wait for us to catch the lap traffic, and maybe that would be his opportunity. I don't know. Because at least by that time we won't have the clean air anymore like we do right now. But just to have this little bit of pressure that we haven't had all day long to maybe mess the corners up more often than not is all Almirola possibly needs. And Blaney has not gotten back into the top 5 since the restart. Best corner for Almirola is entering this carousel. Look at the deep dive, but the curb really got him loose. He did not have a friendly bounce off the curb that time. Wasn't able to close the gap any more than what he wanted to. When am I going to pit? I'm going to stay out as long as I can, I think. Or at least as long as the tires are going to let me stay out. Just in case we get that caution that we could pit under the yellow. Not give these guys a tire advantage on me. Again, one of the keys to the race today has been track position, so just to be in the lead and lead every lap of this race, to continuously have that track position is a very big help. And we are both pulling away from Kurt Busch right now, but Almirola's constantly going to be stalking us for the lead, and another terrible bounce off the curb for Almirola, just enough to lose him enough time right when he was starting to catch back into us after a span of about a lap. Oh, wide in the hairpin. Luckily, Almirola wasn't even close enough to pounce. Actually really beat him back to the gas pretty well despite running very wide in the hairpin. Spending the lead by about a second and a half. Oh boy, hang on. Oh, and again in the Johnson goes wide up the curving, Almirola to the lead. And near mistake turned into a mistake just one turn later. Clean air is lost. Can Almirola lead his first lap of the race today? Johnson has led every single lap as we have 39 to go. Sending it deep into the hairpin, trying to outbrake the 10 car of Almirola. Crossover now. He is there. Johnson beating him back to the gas. And clear. What a power move by Johnson to get back to the lead. And not officially losing the lead. What an unbelievable move. In the dirty air, might I add, to try and make the pass on the 10 car. But Almirola is there. Not going to find Jimmy to make a mistake. Johnson back to the gas in time, slightly pulling away from the 10 car again. So quick little rush there. Johnson has still led every lap of the race. Did a great job setting him up to get him back. It only took us about 4 turns to get back to the lead, but we never officially lost the lap. The 10 car is there. We both bounced off the curb pretty evenly that time. It looks like we slightly beat the 10 car back to the gas though. 15 people watching. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Just one caution in this race today at Sonoma. And it came out with 49 laps to go. Well, that 10 car of Eric Almirola is there, putting pressure on the 48 of Johnson, who has led every lap of the race until we're wheeling behind in the chase for 8. An 8th title. Definitely seems like we're a lot faster than Almirola on the middle part of the racetrack. Junior Car 17, welcome to the stream. That 10 car is there again. Oh, and he puts the bumper to us. But he's able to hold on to the lead. It actually really kind of helped us. It shot us way out ahead of the 10 car. Almirola getting impatient, using the bumper to try and get back around us in his best corner there, and it didn't quite work, and he's actually lost a little ground since. He's got to get close to us, though, by the time we get to the lap traffic. Probably next lap, if I had to guess. Can definitely shake things up. Going to happen when we get the 48 car into the dirty air right behind these lap cars. Hopefully we can get around him quickly with Almirola very close to the lead. Bubba Wallace, Justin Haley will be the first two lap cars we've got to catch. You can see how tight the car got immediately behind the 43 of Bubba Wallace. Trying to get around him. Struggling. Gonna get underneath Bubba Wallace again off the curbing. Almirola, not a friendly bounce off the curbing again. We did get around Bubba Wallace. Now trying to work on Justin Haley. So he's inside. We're going to make the pass. Almirola to the outside on Bubba Wallace. And the curved corner they are in. That'll probably set him up to get around him in the hairpin. How hard is he going to get to the brakes to try and maybe even get around Justin Haley as we go a little wide in the hairpin that time. Almirola sent it into the hairpin to get around both Wallace and Haley at the same time. It worked out. He's about 2 seconds off the lead. More lap traffic now. Side by side with Chad Fincham. We're going to get around Fincham. Passing Quinn Haupt to the inside of Kenseth. Sending it on McDowell. Oh, a little wide. Very hard on the brakes there. McDowell tried to cross us over. We beat him back to the gas, and that's about as good as we could have gotten through that set of lap cars. Still a 2.5 second lead, 35 laps to go. We are within the pit window to make it on fuel the rest of the way. If we were to pit now, everybody still has one more stop to go. Oh, wow. Big hop off the curb, about overcorrected it. I did get my phone on the charger real quick. It's running low on battery, I was kind of noticing. Alright, 34 to go. We're going to stick with the normal camera for the rest of the race now. Pulled out to about an 8.5 second lead on Eric Almirola, who's losing us now through the traffic. We've got a lot more clean air, and he's got very heavy lap traffic currently around him. So actually allowing Kurt Busch to catch up to him right now for second. But we know Almirola is probably going to be the closest test to try and beating us today, and he's really the only one showing enough. Johnson. Will we get another caution here in this one? It's definitely possible. But we have only had one all day today in the first 77 laps. 33 to go this time by. Well, 40 minutes out from the Cup Series race here today at Kentucky. So again, hopefully we can get to the end of this one in time.
Still there. Stay right, please.
Gotta say though, if it wasn't for getting through the lap traffic better, and Eric Almirola, I'm sure the battle would still be intense, just like it was for those first 10 laps or so on the restart. Taking care of the tires all right, despite running really hard to stay away from Almirola. And likely gonna stay out as long as we can before we have to hit pit road. Blaney back into the top 5 in 5th now. Oh, contact with Keselowski as we both go wide, and Keselowski goes around. Keselowski goes around after going extremely wide on top of us. Contact was made on the exit of the hairpin. So we tried to put him another lap down. No caution. Keselowski was out of the way and should be able to get back on the track.
Stay right.
It looked like he made the save. I don't think he hit the wall or a tire barrier or anything like that, or another car for that matter.
Right side clear.
A 13-second lead here. Next full race live stream will be tomorrow night, whenever I could get off of work, because as usual on Monday, so probably looking about 8:15, 8:30 or so Eastern Standard Time. for the start time of that one, and it will either be the Charlotte Xfinity race. If there's a patch, if I could get on, I will try to do that race. If it still crashes, then I will have to try and do the next truck race, which I believe is at Chicagoland. I could be wrong on that, but I think the next truck race is at Chicagoland, so we'll have it right then and there. Oh, yeah, running really wide there. Kept it off the wall, into the sand. Still 30 laps to go, and the left front now is down under 50%. Right front soon to follow. "15-second lead on Almirola. Kurt Busch still in third. Logano fourth, to Chase Elliott rounds out the top five still. Bouncing off the curb. Great job keeping it off the 24 of Byron. Despite being on top of the curbing, center of the corner there, while running side by side, and get right on by the 24 car. Made it look easy. By the way, last regular season race on Fox Sports today. They still got the All-Star race on FS1 on Wednesday, and obviously the race today is on FS1 at Kentucky. But I will not obviously listen to the TV broadcast while I'll be at the race on Wednesday night, so it'll be the last time I'll get to watch the Fox broadcast this year. Starting to prefer NBC more over Fox, the more I listen to it, but I do like Mike Joy's commentary though, as usual. "20-second lead. The only thing that's going to change things here is, again, if we get a caution. Plus, how will the car react on older tires? Because we're going to try to stay out as long as we can during the course of this run. Not going to try to short pit just in case we get a caution. We're going to have to hang on to this car once those tires get below 30% tire wear. I'd have to guess in the next handful of laps. We'll probably have to hang on to it for every bit of 10 to 15 laps on top of it. Or at least long enough to get a caution, hopefully. If we are going to get a caution, I hope it's before our tires wear way out. Been since before lap 30, since we've had to deal with that too. Guys, with less than 30 laps to go, there is a chance that we can lead every lap of this race today. Despite not even qualifying on the pole, we qualified second. Harvick was on the pole. And Almirola took the lead for a whole 4 corners before we got the lead back in the hairpin about 15 laps or so ago. Closer to that one and only restart we've had today. Sam Stone, welcome to the stream. Sam will have 26 laps to go this time by. Oh boy. A little late on the brakes. Oh, a little contact with Reddick on the exit of the hairpin, trying to quickly get back down onto the racing surface. Luckily, the contact was minimal. Welcome back here, Holden. Just went wide again, but we're good. "22-second lead, 25 laps to go at Sonoma." Only a matter of laps at this point until those tires get below 30%. And go about another 15 to 16 laps on a full tank of fuel yet. So again, we are roughly looking at about 8 laps short on fuel. And Almirola is absolutely pulled away from third place rather, Kurt Busch. He's on Kurt Busch for third. Logano just a couple seconds behind Kurt Busch, and Chase Elliott still rounds out the top 5, 56 seconds off the race lead. Very heavy lap traffic coming up. Kyle Busch, Ricky Stenhouse, I believe, are up there. Or at least Kyle Busch is. No course penalties so far today here at Sonoma either, so. Oh! Contact with Austin Dillon. We've done a good job keeping it on the course. Dillon just drives into the side of us, and now he spins himself out. Back across the middle of the racetrack, too. Hopefully nobody else is coming from behind. Austin Dillon just drilled us going uphill through the carousel. After we made contact through that right-handed U-turn, Hamlin got loose. We got around him. Yes, indeed, Tyler. Eric is struggling with lap traffic, but since we've gotten out to about 19, 20, 21 second lead, he hasn't fallen much further back. Now contact with Quinn Half. And there's Kyle Busch in 7th place now, right in front of us. Trying to stay on the lead lap in case we get that caution. Jimmy ran a little wide there, out of the gas a lot longer than normal. And that left front is under 30% tire wear now, so this is possibly it. How worn out will these tires get? We do not want a short pit in case there's a caution. We will be able to stay on the lead lap, yes, but that would also mean we would have to restart without pitting under that caution, giving everybody else fresher tires on the restart if we wanted to get that track position back. So this is what we're looking at right now. That's why we have to stay out as long as we can, despite how bad the car is going to handle. I'm surprised we haven't gotten to that point yet of it really handling bad. We'll contact with Kyle Busch, and now Busch will go a lap down in 7th. So 6 cars on the lead lap. Bobby Carter in 16th, generated rookie driver on the game. Having himself a good run today. Almirola is still about 20.5 seconds off the lead. We're struggling to get around Bobby Carter right now, but both those front tires under 30%. Oh, Carter just blocked us off, and here comes Kyle Busch. Busch trying to get under us. Little rear wheel spin, but we're still going to beat him back to the gas. And Kyle desperately trying to get back on the lead lap. He's battling us hard. Jimmy Johnson's led every lap of the race, 21 to go. We've gone for not 1, but 2 spins already today. There's a couple times we were able to catch it too. Still no course penalty, and that is part of why we are in the lead. We did get caught for a pit road speeding penalty earlier in the race. Still, even despite that, we have led every lap. In the cycling of 2 green flag stops as well. 20 to go here at Sonoma. We're just over 15 minutes away, I believe, from the start of the Kentucky race. So again, trying to get through this as quick as possible. Try to get guys out of here in time for the race. Really don't like overlapping the Cup races. Never done it before, simply because I don't like missing Cup races myself, so. I don't know if there's any rain in the area right now. If there is a rain delay, that would definitely help us, but. Definitely had terrible luck with that this year. Oh man, big moment, good save by Johnson through the S's. And you could tell the tires are extremely worn off on this 48. Oh my. Desperately trying to hold on to the car. Kyle Busch lurking to pull us back in. 19 to go. Lap time is about 4 seconds off our fastest lap of the race. Busch is there. Setting us up. Can't get around us that time. Got a little tight too. And just a little wide enough for Kyle Busch to get on by, but Jimmy's still got to fight to try and get him a lap down. A little loose, trying to drive it, and Busch about turned us with the contact after he tried to miss us. Just nowhere for him to go as we drift all the way around the carousel. How were we able to hold on to it there? We could still go about another 10 laps on fuel. I just don't know how far the tires are going to want to go. Almirola hasn't really capitalized on the amount of times we have gotten loose. His tires are wearing out himself. Maybe he's having troubles. Maybe not only with the lap traffic, but just simply trying to hang on to his car like we are. Oh boy. And Jimmy almost went around, went off the track for sure. We're trying to keep this win streak alive as well.
Easy on those tires, driver.
It is absolutely unbelievable the amount of grip that is lost with this race car on these old tires. We have not stayed out of the pits this long into a green flag run all day long. But we don't have the lead that we did earlier to be able to pit and cycle back out as the leaders without having the other guys have to pit. Almirola is there. Less than 15 seconds off the lead and closing. Desperately hoping for a caution. Either that or just at least able to hold on to the car. I kind of don't want a caution and bring more people back into it, but
We're going to need those tires
Another big moment. It almost went wide into the next corner late on the brakes. Had to drop it all the way down to first gear. Wow. Bottoming out, sparks flying. Almirola within about 10.5 seconds of the lead. Hit it rolling. Working back. Yep, back into the gas too soon and into the wall. Just off the racetrack. Unbelievable.
You're gonna blow tires, dude.
The lead is absolutely evaporating. With 16 to go. I think we're at the point, if we lose the lead, I think that will be the time we have to pit anyway. And the way we are running right now, it won't be very long. Wow. Insane. 10% left on the left front. It should only make it a couple more laps anyway before we would have to pit. Locking him up. A little wide in the hairpin now. And wide in that same corner through the assist back downhill. Once again, that time we didn't hit the wall, luckily. And Almirola is still closing. Johnson's led every lap of this race so far here today. But the lead is now just about 2 seconds between the 48 and the 10. And despite Jimmy leading every lap of the race today, Almirola is coming on strong. No lap cars in between the leaders. None in the near future in front of the leaders as well with 15 to go. Oh, Johnson sideways again. Back across the track. Trying to desperately block that 10 car of Almirola. Off the curbing, Almirola went a little wide off the curbing back behind us. We're going to pull him slightly. There's a little better handling in fourth gear. It's just much slower. What has been just a dominant race all day long. Might not be dominant for much longer. Almirola is there. Still another 25.5 seconds back to Kurt Busch in third. He's basically a non-factor. Really wide again. Here comes Almirola. Contact. Johnson trying to hold on to the lead. More contact. Locking the tires down. Got it. Jimmy has still led every lap. But I don't think we're going to be able to hold on to it for much longer. I don't think Eric Almirola appreciated the contact there, although I tried to stay off of him. He did put the bumper to us earlier, though, too, I guess, but... We're going to have 13 laps to go this time by. I still don't know how we're holding on to this thing. I think we got to pit this time by. I think we got to give up the lead. I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to make it. We haven't burnt the tires out as much the last couple laps, believe it or not, probably because of the pace that we have backed off, which has been immenseful. Yep, we're going to have to pit now. Johnson into the inside wall. Trying to make the save, locking the brakes up again. Huge impact. And Eric Almirola is going to take the lead at Sonoma on a huge turn of events. He was able to miss us. And we are beyond the 5-second damage clock. With just 13 laps to go this time by. What has been a dominant race all day long, leading every lap up to this point for the 48. And now we are stuck with the damage on the car the rest of the race. Right when I was deciding on coming down to hit pit road, this lap, we waited just a lap too long. Fairly quick stop. It looks like about 15.7 seconds, so not bad there. Mr. Pizza, welcome to the stream. Well, the good news is we've got 4 fresh tires. The bad news is we've lost a lot of time. And we have heavy damage to the race car, but we have got to go. We are focused on the race leader. We're in 5th right now. Almirola could probably go about another 5 laps before he has to pit. But now we have fresh tires. I don't know how much time we're actually going to be able to gain with that because of the damage. But at least we don't have to worry about the tire wear the rest of the race. The problem is, how far off the pace will we be? The damage of what has turned into just a dominant race is now turned into fireworks late here at Sonoma. The only reason we were staying out as long as we did again was in case we got the caution. Just in case that caution were to come out after we had pit, giving the rest of the field 4 fresh tires. But now it seems like it's not even going to matter. We are cutting back into that lead. But I think we need to get to less than 40 seconds back if we're going to want to cycle ahead of Almirola. I would have to assume he's going to take 4 tires like everybody else will likely take 4 tires under their green flag stop. Still just 1 caution all day today in the first 99 laps of this 110 lap race at Sonoma. And if you're just tuning in, waiting for that cup race to start, I know it's probably going to be starting in about 5 to 10 minutes here, but hopefully we can get this over as soon as possible. But it's going to be a spectacular finish of this race. It's time for the 48 of Johnson to run down Almirola. Almirola trying to clinch himself a playoff spot for his first win of the year on what is just the 4th race of the season. Jimmy Johnson trying to go 4 for 4. And Kurt Busch was about 20 seconds off the lead at the timing of Almirola taking the lead. There's Blaney in 4th. And now we got to worry about the car overheating. There are DNFs. We got lucky we didn't hit the wall any harder than what we did, because that could have been a DNF. But I don't think we can afford to make a huge mistake and get much more damage to this car before wrecking out of it. We need to make sure we don't overheat. it gets to 260 as of NASCAR Heat 4 and now 5, it does alert us. In NASCAR Heat 4, once we got to about 270, the car would tend to overheat and start spewing just smoke. We cannot afford to have that happen here in DNF this late into a race that we dominated. It's going to be a heartbreaker if we lose it by itself. Rather yet if we DNF and we don't score hardly any points at all, because again, there are no stages on this season. 18 people currently watching. We have a race here today. Currently in 4th, but still the rest of the field ahead of us. The top 3 have to pit. We will cycle ahead of Logano and Kurt Busch, but will we cycle ahead of the current race leader, Eric Almirola? Heavy damage to the front of the car after a spin before we had hit pit road, but because of my rule of a 5-second damage clock for NASCAR Heat 5 now, try and enhance the difficulty even more. We had more than 5 seconds of damage, way more, 16 seconds of damage to be exact. So keep an eye on that oil temp, 265 roughly there. We're less than 40 seconds off the lead. Johnson absolutely digging. 10 laps to go at Sonoma. To keep the undefeated streak alive in the chase for 8. Boy, did this race get turned up on its side. I did not expect this coming. After how bad we were beating these guys down earlier. And remember, the game causing us to go down onto pit road and take a hard left for whatever reason. We were close to being onto pit road, but we weren't quite there. Could be the factor in us losing this race ultimately. Because then the caution came out about 10 to 15 laps after that had happened, when everybody else was on the lead lap as far as the top 7 went. Because otherwise we were a lap ahead of the field at that point in time. Almirola would have had to restart at the rear of the field. He would not be as far ahead of us as he is right now. I mean, he'd be lucky to have a 5 to 10 second lead at this point. If he restarted at the rear of the field, we would easily cycle ahead of him. Cars are pitting. Logano on pit road. He will give up 3rd. What about the rest of the leaders? Yep, Almirola's on pit road too. We're going to cycle ahead of him. But how far ahead will we be? And how much will the damage slow us down? Wow, we had a very fast pit stop compared to Almirola. We've got about an 11-second lead on that 10 car. And we're going to go wide. Kyle Busch back on the lead lap. Can Almirola run us down? On about 6 to 7 lap fresher tires, might I add. Keep an eye on that interval in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. We'll be coming to 8 laps to go this time by. Stuck behind Joey Gase. Oh, another big moment. A huge bounce off the curb. Having to drop it to first gear now. Again, Busch gets back on the lead lap in case there's a caution. That could be big. More of the lead is evaporating even quicker than what it was before. 6 seconds is the difference between first and second. Kurt Busch about 23.5 seconds back in 3rd. think we should be fine as long as we don't pick up much more damage to the front of the car. I don't think it's going to overheat. Oh, we caught Ty Dillon in a terrible spot as he was coming out of the pits right in front of us in that 14th position. And that costed us about another second. Oh, Dillon bounced off the curb right in front of us. Now we're going to get around him finally. Landon, welcome to the stream. Oh my goodness. Almirola is starting to lose us now. He's about 8 seconds off the lead. He is struggling in whatever lap traffic he is currently in. Kyle Busch and Keselowski side by side though right in front of us. And Keselowski now giving us a lot of room. Kind of pinching us off there, and he's going to stay in front of us for now. Remember, he went for a spin after we made contact earlier. Trying to get back around Brad, but he is blocking us up big time. We try to get around the 2. Oh man, he about chopped us off again. Ty Dillon is there. Keselowski is holding us up big time. Finally going to get around him. Cost us about a second. It could have been a lot worse though. That's 2 more lap cars Almirola has to pass, and Ty Dillon and Brad Keselowski. I think Kyle Busch is going to be a tough pass if we can get back to him. Six laps to go. Will be this time by. Well, Kurt Busch closing the gap. He's 20 seconds back. I still think he's just a little too far. Six to go. Can Jimmy Johnson survive at Sonoma after what has happened here today? Probably leading all but about 4 laps in this race. Leading over the first 95 laps before losing the lead on lap 97. Almirola losing ground again. If Almirola could catch the lap traffic in better spots, I think he's got a chance. He's got enough time, but he is definitely running out of time. He might need a caution. And that would be the last thing that we want to see with this 48 car is a caution. So we will be holding on for dear life with this race car at that point. Especially with the rest of the field having 6 to 7 lap fresher tires. Five laps to go. Caution. Caution is out for Jimmy. Well, not for Jimmy Johnson, but while Johnson is in the lead, Ryan Preece will get the free pass in 8th. And this changes everything. Well, this is going to get crazy, ladies and gentlemen. We will have 2 laps to go. This will finish under regulation, assuming we can get back to the white flag without another caution. This is only the 2nd caution of the race today. And here we go. Green flag back in the air. Green-white checker for the 2nd time this season. In the young season, can Jimmie Johnson hold on? Getting the clean air on the restart quickly on Almirola. Almirola, fresher tires, less damage. Has to have the fastest car. Logano and Kurt Busch battling back for 3rd. They're still side by side. Johnson has to hit his marks. Perfect. Loose off the curbing. Checking up, and here comes Almirola. All over the back of Johnson. Tries the outside. Was it going to work there? Almirola might have to get more aggressive. Logano up to 3rd all by himself. He has cleared Kurt Busch. Elliott back in 5th. Johnson trying to hold on for dear life for win number 4 on the season. To start 4 for 4. Into the hairpin. Actually kind of pulling Almirola just a little bit. Now downhill through the S's. Can we get to the white flag? If we do, next flag would end the race. About a quarter of a lap away. But it's going to be a long final lap. Keep an eye on those oil temps. Almirola still less than a second back. He's going to drive it in hard. Johnson goes a little wide. Almirola is there. White flag is going to be in the air. 1 lap to go at Sonoma for Jimmie Johnson, who has led all but just 4 laps today. But the pressure is on late. Off the curbing, a little wide, but Eric Almirola, his last chance, or his best chances rather, to pass is going to be this next corner coming up. And then that final sharp right-handed turn. Almirola's there. He's there. Side by side. Johnson beats him back to the gas. And now here comes Logano closing the gap. Almirola's still there. A block by Johnson. A little wide. Trying to get the power down back to the gas. Almirola side by side for the lead with a half a lap to go. Logano is in the picture. Can Joey make a move? Almirola looking high into the hairpin. Logano's up to 2nd. Logano sends the 10 car wide. Logano's up to 2nd. That might be the door open for Joey Logano, but Johnson was able to get away after the 22 and the 10 about made contact on the exit of the hairpin. Logano hasn't led a lap all race long, but you can bet he's going to drive it in deep into this final sharp right-handed turn. Try not to overrun it. Johnson going a little wide, and here comes the door open for Logano. He makes contact. Logano is there. Blocked up by Johnson. The crossover. Photo finish. Jimmie Johnson wins it at Sonoma. Oh my goodness, Logano about went from 3rd to 1st on the final lap of the race. And Johnson survives a wild one in the West. Oh my God. Now wanting to lose after dominating all race long, and the pressure was on for those final 2 laps. Logano almost stole the show. Unbelievable. Oh my gosh. That was awesome. Nathan Broke, welcome to the stream. King, that was the race. We have burnt the engine out here in this show. Man, I want to go through the replay. We're going to check it out real quick here. I know the Cup Series race is starting. But that was a crazy last lap. Well, last 2 laps really, but that last lap was something else. So this was really the last half a lap that Almirola had the best shot. Right there, he's going to take a peek to the inside. No contact was made. It was very close, clean racing. This car was so tight with that damage. Desperately trying to block and hold on. See, getting tight again there. Almirola fighting back. Couldn't quite clear, so beat him back to the gas there, then into the hairpin. That really opened the door for Logano. We got side by side a couple times, and Logano sends it into the hairpin. I don't know if he made contact with the 10 car or not. He definitely ran him up the track, but he didn't make contact, I don't think. And Logano was on it for the last quarter of a lap to try and catch us. Downhill through the S's. We went a little wide. We almost choked it right here. Logano came down, made contact, got a little loose. Tried to block Logano up, and then he almost crossed us over right at the finish. Almirola lurking from behind. Bam! There was the finish of the race. Wow. There was the finish at Sonoma. I did not see that coming the way the first 90 laps went, but boy, did we have to hold on. Almirola with a close third. Logano almost stole the show to make it into the playoffs there. Incredible. 96 1/1000ths of a second was the finish of the race. Jimmy Johnson getting the win, the top 8 finish on the lead lap. Joey Logano second, Almirola third, Kurt Busch fourth, Ryan Blaney fifth, Chase Elliott sixth, 7th was Kyle Busch, Ryan Preece 8th, 9th was Ricky Stenhouse. Alex Bowman rounds out the top 10. 2 hours and 47 minutes total time on the race today. 2 cautions in total. Least amount of cautions we've had in a race all year. And the only 2 DNFs were 2 front row motorsport drivers, Michael McDowell and John Hunter Nemechek. So tough day for that team. Well, 4 for 4 for Jimmy Johnson. 4 for 4. Nonetheless, there he is in victory lane after a wild finish at Sonoma. That's going to be it here today for this one. Enjoy the Kentucky Cup Series race starting right now. For more daily NASCAR Heat 5 action, with these full race live streams with a realistic broadcast as you saw today, we'll be back at it again tomorrow night for the Truck Series. I believe at Chicagoland would be the next race. If not, it would be the Xfinity Series because the patch would be put in place that I can get the Xfinity Series revamped, restarted back up again for that second race. But one of those 2 races will be tomorrow night, about 8:15, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, whenever I could get off of work, really. And get home soon enough to stream that one. So for more daily NASCAR content, yep, again, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you don't miss those uploads or any other future uploads. Look at that, we led 105 of the 110 laps today, and we still almost lost. But hit the like button if you enjoyed the race commentary, the video in general, and I will see you guys later on today for a post-race analysis video, in fact. And so long, folks. Have a good afternoon. Have a good rest of your weekend.